So earlier this spring, I had 2 calves mysteriously die on my farm. For the longest time, I've been trying to figure out what it is, and I finally got some new information that actually gives me a conclusive answer as to what killed those calves. And so in today's video, I want to talk about that and break down what actually happened and what went wrong and what I'm doing differently so it doesn't happen again. But it looks like I have another cattle problem I have to deal with first. You will notice it looks like Alice B. Tokeless has slipped outside of the electric fence and she's running loose in the permaculture orchard. We're gonna have to go catch her. Hey Alice, I'd really like you to be on this side of the fence. Hey baby B, I'm not annoyed at you, you're doing a good job. Come here, sweetie. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Abby, did you just steal baby B's treat? Don't worry baby B, I got more for you. No, 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 baby B, don't go that way too. I swear I make my own problems sometimes. Come on girls, can you come back in? Come here. Baby B, come on, baby B. Hey, Abby, stop it. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. Come on, Alice. Come on, follow baby B and me. Come on, pay no attention to this wackadoo. Abby, come on. No, 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 no. Ugh. Abby, I love you, but you're spooking everybody away. And in case you're wondering what I got here, I found a duck egg and a goose egg while I was walking up. I'm gonna have to crawl through this jungle, chase Alice back down. It's funny, they have opposite dynamics. Baby B will follow me. Abby, stop it. Abby, don't do that. Abby, no. Come on, baby B, let's go. Come on, girls, back down. Hey, hey, Abby, tranquila, tranquila. Back down the hill, girls, come on. Hey, 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 okay. All right, baby B, I know you want this bucket, and I know Alice will follow you, so let's do this. See, this is actually why I don't want the cattle loose in here, because they break trees. Like this tree has just been pretty much murdered. Luckily, it's not a very good tree and wasn't necessarily something I'm trying to save, but that's the problem here. Same thing with this one. This just got trampled. Come on, baby B. You know, I love you, girl, but you can sometimes be a little bit of chaos. Come on, Alice, back down. Abby, tranquila, tranquila. Let Alice go down the hill and baby B will follow. Baby B, don't rub that tree, please. That's a very nice black locust tree I've been growing for several years. Back down. Come on, you bossy heifer. There you go. There's your bucket. Don't spook her, Abs, please. All right, Abby, despite your best efforts, it looks like we have Alice back in. Abby, hey, Abby, Abby, no! Abby, stop it! Were you offended because I was trash talking you a little bit? I'm sorry, but you're just objectively not doing a good job these days with the cattle. I know that's probably on me, which is definitely a pattern around this farm because the thing that ended up killing my calves was, I feel like, my fault at this point, almost objectively completely. Because so far this year, we've had 5 calves born on the farm, 3 heifers and 2 bull calves. Abby, what are you doing? Abby's acting a little kooky these days, so we gotta work on that with her. I know a few of you guys are gonna probably be murdering me in the comments here about doing bad job training with Abby, but just have some empathy for me. It's really hard to shoot a video, manage the cattle, and manage Abby all at the same time sometimes. So as I was saying, we had 5 calves born on the farm, 3 heifer calves, 2 bull calves that I actually banded and was in the process of turning them into steers. Abby, Abby, I'm gonna send you down. Like, I won't take you on these if you keep doing that. Stop it. It is hard to both train a dog and shoot videos at the same time. Those 2 bull calves that I was turning into steers, they were the ones who ended up passing away. And they both passed away not too long after they were born, but I think for Elliot, it was like about 3 weeks, and for Prince, it was like 2 weeks old that they both died. And pretty much about 15 minutes after Elliot Smith passed away, I actually took him to my vet. I took him back to my vet, and I ended up getting a necropsy, which is basically just the word that they use when they do an animal autopsy. Oh, you're such a good sweetheart. You know that? You're a very, very good heifer. You're gonna make a good mama soon. Give you another year. And Alice B. Tokeless is out somewhere over there. I don't know. She got spooked off by Lady Abington, who's actually proving to be chaotic neutral this morning, despite her typically chaotic good status, and she might even be veering into chaotic evil. Well, I would actually say I have baby B trained 100% to the way I'd like to have all my heifers and cows behave. Alice B. Tokeless, who was a new arrival on this farm when she was about 6 months old, is still getting used to me and the farm and everything. And look at these sassy ducks and geese. All right, I'll feed you guys next, don't worry. So anyway, I did this necropsy on Elliot Smith just to see what went wrong. And I got the preliminary results of that necropsy back. It still left a lot of open questions. Like, the preliminary information was able to rule out anything viral or bacterial. You know, there are a lot of commenters who mentioned this idea that maybe because I banded the calves in order to castrate them, that was the cause, because it was only the 2 bull calves that ended up getting sick and dying. Like, maybe something happened with that, or maybe they got tetanus or something like that. And based on the preliminary necropsy results, I was able to fully rule out all of those things. But basically, the way the process works is my vet does the initial look through and examination. She takes that information and then she sends it off to Cornell. The veterinary school at Cornell then does like a whole bunch of analysis on that information to say, hey, here's what maybe went wrong. And after about, I don't know, a week or 10 days, they give you the initial results. But then after like, I think it's like 4 weeks or so, they'll give you the full results because some of those tests take a long time to develop, which is partially why I'm just making this video. I think the other reason was I kind of didn't want to have to make this video, but since so many of you guys have sent emails and written me letters and had comments, I figured I'd just put this all in one video so people could have the information and know what was really going on. Hang on, ducks, let me get you some fresh water. Woo, hey, oh, your hose is going all over the place. So I'm still trying to perfect a simple waterfowl watering system. I tried actually making this thing, which attaches to a hose like so, but I'm still finding that it doesn't stay in well enough for me to just like turn it off and on a couple times a day, which is really what I want it to do. And so I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. You'll probably see a future video where I try to build something else. But you can definitely mark this version of the experiment as a failure. So at this point in the year, I should have moved my chickens out of the hoop coop, but I'm still working on getting them moved out. Their new mobile coop was finished, but I had a problem with the rollaway nesting box design. You see, I bought a couple of these nesting boxes that are rollaway nesting boxes online, which basically means that they're tilted so that when the chicken lays the egg rolls down and rolls into the box, and the chicken can't access it and it rolls away. The advantage of that is it keeps the egg much cleaner, which often saves me time and keeps me from having to clean. But unfortunately, the quality of the two that I bought online are just complete junk. They have these trays that slip in, and even after they arrived, I had one of the trays like already arrived broken. But this plastic is just really cheap and flimsy, and I actually even ended up accidentally cracking a second one trying to install it, and then cracked it even more trying to uninstall it. And just generally speaking, that has me concerned for the stability and structure of this thing, because I don't want like a coyote to come up in here and like rip those nesting boxes out and try to access my chickens this way. Actually, as I come to think of it, probably the real risk is a raccoon doing something like that. And so the night I was about to take my chickens and put them in here, I got cold feet and decided to completely rebuild the rollaway nesting box design. And so I'm working on finishing that up, and that's gonna be my project for today. You'll end up seeing a whole video about this build process because I really feel like I made some improvements in terms of comparing this to previous models of mobile chicken coops that I've used. I think this is 4th official mobile chicken coop I've used, but I feel like each time I keep making it better. The problem with the previous one was it was too heavy, particularly top heavy, and it was really hard to steer. And so basically this new coop has twice the amount of roost space, 2 extra nesting boxes, the same amount of floor space, but it weighs half as much and is significantly easier to turn and move and get around the farm. And so this is very close to being done, and probably tonight I'll move the girls in here and get them set up and trained for this. And you'll see all of that in a future video. Excuse me, sir. Can you stop that? Really appreciate it if you didn't peck at my barn. It's an old barn, and it's kind of a nice barn. It'll stay nice longer if you stop pecking at it. Please and thank you. How's it going, boys and girls? Come get your slop. Come get your slop. Look, there's fresh food right here. There's no need to fight. We got 2 troughs now. Come on, guys. There's a whole unused trough right over there. Meanwhile, you guys can't stop fighting. They all want the same trough. They don't want to share the other trough. So despite their inability to share a trough, or think about the fact that there's multiple troughs, overall, the pigs in the woods experiment has been going really, really well. It's funny, the first day they were here, the first couple days they were here, they pretty much didn't leave that up front area where I feed them. But now more and more, particularly as we've had a couple of hot days, they're coming through, and you can already see the impact of them like clearing stuff out like in this area. This is the interesting perk about pigs. They're unearthing weird stuff and farm garbage, like this thing right here. This looks like a plastic bucket with concrete poured into it and a steel pole put into it, which I'm gonna guess was probably like a post for a greenhouse that the previous owners who used to have like an organic vegetable farm here, this is something that they put out. So I now know this is here and I can clean it out, and I have the pigs to thank for it. They're starting to enjoy the mud and the muck and getting to explore everything, if they are still respecting their boundary, which is that fence. And so I'm very pleased with how this experiment's going so far. And plus, every time I come back here, I feel like I'm coming to like a whole different like ecosystem relative to the rest of the farm. So it's pretty cool. Like it's even significantly darker in here than it is out there. Oh my gosh, this mud is intense. Look at that. Like pull your boot right off. Whoa, actually almost just fell into the fence right back there with that mud. I feel like the mud back here is the closest thing I've ever experienced to quicksand.
Artex, you're sinking! Come on, turn around!
We are actually getting very close to the day when I let my bull Macho Man and my steer Joey Ramon go back to the rest of the herd and join the girls. I'm keeping them separate right now, but very, very soon, like in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, I'll probably move them back together. Here's the two boys hanging under the tree. You know, one question that folks had about the calves and their health was whether maybe there was some sort of genetic problem on Macho Man's end. But a lot of the known diseases that a bull can pass on and that are genetically inherited, they were actually tested for, and none of that came up. So I don't think it was Macho Man's fault. Isn't that right, big boy, huh? Abby, don't cause trouble. Come on, don't mess with them. Hey, buddy. Hi, good to see you. Good to see you. The reason I'm making them wait right now is just because it's like a perfectly balanced time of when I want to get them out, because I actually like having the calves born in the barn. You know, I was talking to my neighbor who raises cattle about this, and he typically waits a little bit later than I do, but he likes to have all of his calves born on pasture. Now, I know some folks aren't going to agree with this, but I actually think it's easier to have the calves born right before they go out to pasture. It makes it easier on my end for them to actually calve, and like if they have problems, I'll be right there and I can like get them penned up much more easily. Versus when they're out here on pasture, there's not much I can do if something goes wrong. And in these parts, you know, there's two ways you can do it. Either you do it a little bit later or a little bit earlier. The other disadvantage of doing it later is that your risk of having problems with flies or coyotes when there's a birth on pasture is significantly higher. You know, Janet and Ray, who were the folks who sold me Macho Man, they always recommend waiting until Father's Day, and so I'm pretty much right in that zone with them. But there isn't any like one consensus way that you can or should do it. But don't worry, Macho Stud, you'll be reunited with your ladies very, very soon, and your water trough will fill up in just a minute or two. There it goes. Uh-oh. So I have lots of little fences set up around the farm right now, like this one, and there's a very good reason for it. Because it looks like 2 of my cows, or actually I think 2 of my heifers, just jumped the fence line and they're out wandering, and they might actually be trying to find the boys, because I'm pretty sure the 2 that are out are both just about to go into heat. Based on their cycle, they're, I don't know, probably about 5 days away, 6 days away. So we're gonna have to play bike cowboy. All right, Abby, this is where I'm gonna need your help. There's a time and a place for rounding up cattle, and this is one of them. So it looks like Bonnie McMurray jumped that fence, but Belinda Carlisle is the really naughty one. Come on, Belinda, come on, what are you doing over here? All right, Bonnie, first things first, we'll put you in with the other cattle, or at least where the other cattle are going. I know, you've been waiting for your boyfriend. Let's go, come on. Good girl, good girl. I know, we gotta go one more paddock over. There you go. Now we'll let the other cattle come over to this side. Hey there, Amelia. Are you getting close to having a baby? Oh, thanks for letting me get a good check. Nah, you still got a little ways to go. Amelia here should be having a calf, I don't know, a couple of weeks from now. And then there's the rest of the herd. So you see the white calf, Betty White, who's our youngest calf right over there. Belinda, can I get you to go under this? Come on, come on. No, you're gonna make me have to walk you all the way back? I wish I had a bucket. You're super bucket trained. You're maybe the most bucket trained animal we have on this farm, other than Abby Dog. There's a cut through just a little ways down. Keep walking, come on. I'd rather you not slip underneath that. And I'd rather not have you poop right in my face, but Both of those things are in the realm of possibilities. There we go, that's a good girl. I don't know if she's gonna follow me or not, but if I just give it a couple of minutes and she sees the other cattle go into fresh pasture, she'll come running really quickly. I think I see the problem. It looks like somebody knocked this over last night and loosened up the line. So, I don't know, it's probably farmer error. Let's go, come on. Don't knock over the camera, please. Thank you. Hey, Calves. Come on, Calves. First grass, come on. Come on. Hey, Calves. Come on. First grass, come on. Let's go. Come on. Freshies, let's go. Hey, Betty Rubble. You were probably out a lot last night because you're thirsty. You're just drinking the water. You even knocked the water out of its place, so it's going all over the place. Hopefully you didn't get yourself knocked up. Oh, did you see that? She's calling to the boys over there. That's actually what she's doing. She's getting ready to go into heat. So I'll probably end up moving them sooner rather than later because what's a couple of days, right? So now in terms of what actually caused the death of those two calves, finally got that lab report back last week. And the answer to the question is it was a deficiency. So specifically a mineral deficiency. You know, my cattle are 100% grass fed, and that means that really they're only eating grass from the pasture here, or they're gonna eat basically hay that I give them. And that really is the way it should be. You know, for large herbivores like cattle or elephants or horses, they're built to have the vast majority of their nutrition come from pasture or other, you know, plant-like substances. You know, trees and whatnot. But the one thing I do have to do is provide them with minerals, which is what I've traditionally always done. So like right here, you can see their mineral block. But it's definitely been my vet's opinion that the calves had a selenium deficiency, and so that lethargy and kind of the weakness and everything that they were seeing, you know, her best guess is it's something related to that. And so I'm actually adding additional second types of minerals that I'm providing them now, particularly when the moms are pregnant, so that they're carrying a heavier dose of them than they might just get from their block. And then the other thing I'm now gonna do with every single calf born on this farm is I'm giving it an injection of what's known as a BOCI shot. You guys probably can tell my inexperience with doing this stuff. Whoa, hey, easy, easy. Hang on. Oh, don't kick the camera. Just gonna be a little pokey. Here you go, that's it. That's all we had to do. And part of what that shot has is an extra dose of selenium, which helps that calf, and I'm really supposed to give that to them in the first 24 hours of life. And that shot was actually something that my vet did when she came and did a checkup on the whole herd right after Prince died. And so Betty Rubble got a shot, and little Belle got a shot. And then the day that Betty White back there was born, I gave her a shot. And so when Amelia down there has her calf, I will definitely have to give that a shot too. You know, our area, the soil is just known for having a lack of selenium, which like I think in large amounts can be toxic, but in tiny amounts is actually really necessary, particularly for calves. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing different. And sadly, I do feel like it might have been a preventable death, and it does feel like it was my fault. So Betty Rubble here is starting to warm up to me and become more curious. Let's see if I can come get her to visit me. She's sitting on the ground. Oh, I think I spooked her. Like she's kind of curious. She's checking me out, trying to see what's going on. Come here. Come here. But I think she's a little scared. Hey, what are you doing? Hey. Oh, Abby. Oh, you spooked everybody. So much for that experiment. I was worried with Abby running around that she might create a stampede and then I could get crushed by one of the moms. And so I gotta be a little bit careful when I'm down on the ground like that. Oh, Abby dog, you're not having a good day today. So yeah, that is what happened, and that is what I'm doing differently. And so the answer is mineral supplements, both for the moms as well as a special mineral shot for the babies. So I think that should keep things in a good situation for the future. Very disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself, and all I can do is learn from it and move on. How's it going, Annabelle? And so Annabelle here is actually Betty Rubble, who is that calf I was trying to call over. She's that mom. She's a good mom. She's a really good cow. And then here we have Anna Green Gables. She's actually Elliot Smith's mom, and so she lost her calf, but I don't know, hopefully actually in a few weeks she'll get bred back and maybe have another one next spring. Amanda Hug and Kiss. I don't know your status. I think you might be pregnant. We weren't able to do the preg check on you, but I have a hunch you might be ready to go. You know, another cattle question I was getting on videos where folks were asking me about what was gonna happen with the flies and whether I was trapping. And yeah, I actually have traps. I have one down there. I have another one down there. I got a third one that's like over there that I gotta go move in a couple of minutes. But yes, I've been keeping up with that, and that's actually helped control the flies. The black flies that were in that video that you guys saw me swatting at in that previous slow quiet video, those are like a different type of insect. I don't know, in some places they call them no-see-ums or gnats, but they're these like little tiny gnat type bugs that come out in late spring. Really are only around for a few weeks, but they make those few weeks miserable. It seems like, knock on wood, they're finally starting to go away, and so I won't really have to deal with them much for the rest of the summer. And my usual method for controlling flies won't work with them. You just kind of have to deal with it, like whether it's for me, whether it's for the dogs, whether it's for the cattle, we just all have to suffer through it. It's part of living here. Got something we need to check on, guys. Got some eggs that are starting to pip, I think. See one that's pipped. Hopefully we'll have more very soon. This is my last attempt to hatch goslings this year. So you'll find out what happens in the next video right here. Or if you want to see what's happened in years past, you can watch this video right here. Thanks for watching, everybody.